Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady here, and I'm so glad you could join me. I am in my series of embossing techniques, and this is a fun one. It's got the glitter. Can you see the glitter? I hope so on the camera. Over You're Such an Amazing Friend. And I mean, who wouldn't want to get such a bright and sparkly card? So let's get started. I'm going to show you how I did this part. So I'm going to pull in my piece of cardstock. Now I'm going to use two ink pads here. I'm using, because I want the color to be rich raspberry, I want to stick, this is heat and stick powder, and you heat this up and it turns sticky. You don't want to overheat it or it will lose its stickiness. It does come in a little jar. I've transferred it into this container. And then I'm going to use the Dazzling Diamonds to make my project glittery. So I am using the You're Such an Amazing Friend from the Amazing Family set, and it has sister, mother, brother, and a variety of people that you could put this to. So the key to this technique is that you want to, if you work fast, you can often emboss over the regular pads. However, I found with the heat and stick powder, it's not sticky enough. So what I'm doing is I'm first of all going into my Versamark. This is really important that you first do the Versamark, because otherwise you'll get your rich raspberry ink all over your Versamark pad. And then I'm going into my rich raspberry. So now I have rich raspberry and Versamark on this image, and I'm going to go down and up. And I still want to work fairly quickly. I just don't want to give that chance to dry. And now I've stuck my heat and stick powder on there. So you can see that it's, hope you can see, it's kind of white, and you want to heat it just until it turns shiny, and just not, you don't want to overheat this or it'll lose its stickiness. So heat up my heat tool, and then I'll heat this and I'll be right back. Okay. I have it, it's shiny. I can see the shine on there, so I know it's sticky. Now I'm going to sprinkle my Dazzling Diamonds over it. There we go, there's my glitter, and that's sticking to the heat and stick powder. And I'm going to reheat it to set it. So now I want to get the You're Such an Amazing, and I want to get some of this powder off the top here. So I'm going to sprinkle, I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to wipe that away with the somebody. Let's repeat those steps. We're going to go, and this is a clean, you want to start with a clean stamp. So I'm going to ink it up in the Versamark, and I did make sure that my Versamark was well inked. And now into the classic rich raspberry ink, so that I have coverage on there. And let's put that, I'm trying to line it up the best I can over that. And then I'm going to get with the heat and stick powder and moving fairly quickly. There we go. And we're going to heat up our heat and stick powder just until it is shiny. So I've sprinkled the glitter over the heat and stick, and I'm going to heat set that. Okay, as far as how long to heat set that, it kind of changes on you as you're doing it. You can see it melting into the heat and stick powder. Let me get some of my extra glitter off here. Let's add a little extra heat and stick powder there. There we go. So now I have a nice and sparkly and bright You're Such an Amazing Friend. So I'm going to set that aside because I'm done with that part. I'm going to pull in my background, and I have a piece of the Designer Series paper onto a Baja Breeze half a sheet of cardstock cut in half. And then I took and ran a piece of rich raspberry paper through the Big Shot with this accent detail framelit to get just the little flourished bottom there. Let's pull in a adhesive. Okay, and then I'm just going to mount that onto my rich raspberry cardstock. There we go. So I ran this piece of Whisper White cardstock through the Big Shot with the Vine Street embossing folder, and I cut the corners to make them look like a tag. And then I'm just going to punch a 1/8 inch hole in the center, and let's set or thread a piece of the Daffodil Delight 1/8 inch ribbon through there. and going through the front, pushing your tails through, and that will bring the little knot to the front side here. Okay, just like that. So I'm just going to mount that down like that. Put down some adhesive here. I'll trim my ribbon once I get done so I can see where I want to put that, how tall I want to make that. I've put some dimensionals on the back here of my Rich Razzleberry cardstock. We'll mount this over the lower portion of the tag. There we go. And then I have punched out 3 butterflies from the designer paper, and I've used the 2 butterfly punches. This one's on top, the larger butterfly and the bitty butterfly. And then with the Papillon Potpourri, I stamped the little images and then punched them out with the bitty butterfly. So these 2, and then set some of the rhinestones in the middle. Okay, so let's put that down with mini glue dots. And then on the Daffodil Delight butterfly, I put a little tiny piece of dimensional so that'll pop up a little bit and go right along with my sentiment. So my last step here is to trim some tails on the ribbon. And there you have a fun card to give off to somebody, and you have an embossing technique where you get a nice glittery sentiment. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me, Chris@mystamplady.com. All of the supplies for this card are available in my online store at www.mystamplady.com. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.